Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glester Prince. My co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. In over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 girls and 400 boys, into a successful sports and scholastic champions, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we will be speaking to persons, both males and females, who are actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and family and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment that created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement that you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Meadowbrook, a small school, surrounded by willow trees. Whistle comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. The story of an hidden gem was about to shine. A triumph to unfold into a legacy so divine.
So, reach out and join in one of the 4 chapters of our beloved Meadowbrook High School. The contact information will be in the description page. Plus, you can just go back into this video you are watching and you will see all those contact information. So, you don't have no excuse. You have the contact info, make the connection and find out how you can give back to our beloved Meadowbrook High School. Thank you.
Meadowbrook's accomplishments we will surely not forget. Oh, no. Meadowbrook, a small school surrounded by willow trees, whistled comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. A story of an hidden gem was about to shine.
You may support the show by purchasing a copy of my book, The Starling Surprise, how Meadowbrook won 7 trophies in 4 years, in the link for a friend, a family member, a student at Meadowbrook, or for yourself. Thank you.
Meadowbrook's accomplishments we will surely not forget.
Today is Tuesday, July 14, 2026. And welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook memories. Me, as usual, Glester, or Lance, or Prince, or Jelly, and any one of those names will do. Join me for this very special conversation is my original co-host, Alfred Hitchcock Henry. He's not here as yet, but he might or might not come in. And also joining us for this very special conversation is the best night watchman ever in the business, Donovan, Dante Thomas, or Ted Greg, as Miss McLennan used to call him. Our very special guest today is a household name in the Jamaican community. But thanks to another Meadowbrook legend, Herbie McDonald, who made the link for me and let me know that our guest love Meadowbrook High School might be greater than ours. Whose love for Meadowbrook High School might be greater than ours. Him set up this thing for me. So we're having this conversation today. And hopefully Herbie will hear this conversation and realize that my little lollipop bowling is easy for lick for 4. And he will soon come and join this conversation to come and share his own Meadowbrook memories. Big up Herbie. Thanks for making this link to make this conversation possible. Our guest started in Meadowbrook in the 1980s after 3 attempts at taking the common entrance, the name of the exam at the time. And despite what looked like a slow start to his high school education, he went on to become head boy of our beloved Meadowbrook High School and president of the Student Council. In 1987, he entered the University of the West Indies to pursue a degree in history, my study, and political science. At the end of his study in 1990, he received an upper second-class degree, which he used as his entry qualification to read for a law degree at the said university. The pursuit of his law degree revealed that its highest level of proficiency was in the area of commercial and civil law and not criminal law. Very interesting. Having achieved his Bachelor's of Law degree in 1993, he went on to qualify as an attorney at law 2 years later, having successfully passed the bar exam. Since then, our guest's area of practice in the field of law is extensively been in criminal law. That's very interesting, very interesting. His practice in this area has been himself been retained and called to the bar in the Cayman Islands for 3 years. Cases in the Grand Court and Magistrate Court. In all instances in the Cayman Islands, he appeared as lead counsel for the defense. In 2012, our guest became a gazetted member of the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Council. In 2014, he was elected a member of the Bar Council of the Jamaica Bar Association, whereupon until recently, he served as chairman of the Criminal Law Practice and Procedure Committee of that association. In 2012, he was commissioned as Justice of the Peace for the Parish of St. Andrew, and in the said year was elected to President of the St. Andrew Justice of the Peace Association, a position he occupied for 3 successive years. One of his main achievements as President of the St. Andrew Justice of the Peace Association was his strong advocacy for the implementation of a logbook system for Justice of the Peace in Jamaica in order to track their activities. This has now been realized. Our guest, up until recently, was a commissioner of the Anti-Dumping and Subsidies Commission, but has since resigned due to his pressures of his law practice. He has extended his practice to include 3 full-time associates. In 2018, he was appointed member of the Law Faculty Advisory Board of University of Technology and was subsequently elected chairman of that said board, a position he currently occupies. Our guest was elevated to the ranks of, yes, and I'm correcting myself, King's Counsel in Jamaica in January 2020, appointment to the rank of King's Counsel, KC as we know it, are made by Her Majesty, well, the Queen at the time, now King, through her local representative upon the recommendation of the Chief Justice, and is an honor traditionally reserved for senior barrister who have distinguished themselves through the exceptional leadership, professional integrity, and excellence in advocacy at the bar, continues to have his voice in relation to social and political commentary, particularly as it relates to the justice system. Our guest is married to businesswoman Connie, I won't say her last name, and together they share 4 children. But without further doubt, for a man to start off slow by taking common entrance 3 times, this is an illustrious career, my brother. Welcome, Meadowbrook members, welcome, the one and only Peter Champagnie to the line. Introduce yourself, Peter.
Thank you very much, Lance, for that glowing introduction. I truly appreciate it. And let me just say from the start, ita splendor lux vestra, let your light so shine. And I have been honored to have been a student of what I consider to be, even to this day, one of the greatest institutions in Jamaica as a learning institution. I owe all of my early start and my foundation to that school.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Peter. We'll get to that. Dante, you introduce back yourself, my brother.
Well, after hearing Peter's bio, I mean, I don't even want to say nothing. But as you know, there are some podcasts, Donovan Thomas, Tegre, as most people know me, Dante, a few might know me as that. And Jelly, there are a few podcasts that when you call, there may be some that I may miss, but some like this one, not going to miss me. You know, it's an honor to be here, catching up with my classmate and good friend. Also, we shared being leading the Past Students Association as well. We have that in common. So, you know, it's really a pleasure today to be here with you, Peter, and Jelly as usual. Looking forward to the conversation. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Greg. It's a pleasure, and I think it should be known that you did marvelously well as a past student president at Meadowbrook, and you held the flag high even when persons were, despondent and showing, that kind of broken spirit.
Yeah,
Persisted
man.
and you persevered. And it's an honor
Yeah,
for you
man.
Yeah,
to be
man.
a part of this. My thanks also to Lance and Herbie McDonald for making this possible. I always maintain a close love and affection for the school and for all members of the school, past and present.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And hopefully, when this conversation go out, more and more people want to come share them conversation because, as I say, you're well known in the Jamaican community, Peter. Even probably more known than the Meadowbrook community. So we'll fix that today, by making you talk about the history of Meadowbrook. So, and as you go through the conversation, I don't know if you get a chance to listen to any of them. It's just a conversation,
Yes,
Peter. It's just a
yes,
conversation. I don't.
yes. So my journey, Lance and Greg, started when I was living off Riddles Road, Parkland Drive to be
Hold
exact.
on, Peter. I'm gonna ask you the first question I ask everybody. One question I have, a first and a last question, and then you can go in it.
Yes,
Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook choose you?
both the answer to that question is yes and yes, and no and no.
All right, going at that then. Going at now, Peter, and tell me
And
what
I,
you're
I'll,
talking
I'll,
about.
I'll I'll start there since you asked that question.
Yeah.
I sat the common entrance exam. That was the name of the exam at the time. I think it's now called PEP in
Pep, right.
Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I sat it once, I sat it twice, I sat it thrice, and the fourth time I sat it, I failed again.
Wow.
I used to live on this road off Reddy's Road, Parkland Drive, and I recall the day when you used to publish the names in the paper as the
Mm-hmm.
persons who
Yes.
passed. And
Yes.
my friend, my neighbor passed for Calabar, one for JC, one for Georges, and one for KC. And I was the only one that didn't pass anything. And at the time, my mother was a secretary, and her boss was very influential. And I will share it because it's something that I am proud of. Because I'm not trying to be political or anything like that. My mother was the secretary to the soon to be then appointed Minister of Education, Dr. Mavis Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when the government won the election, that is the JLP, that is to say, won the election in 1980, I was able, through the influence of Dr. Gilmore, to be offered a place, even though I'd failed the exam. There was some discretion being exercised for a few persons, and my choice was either Jamaica College or Meadowbrook High School. So I went to the campus at Jamaica College and I saw it. And to my mind at the time, it was big and what you would call so
Mm-hmm.
and intimidating as well. And I then left and I went to Meadowbrook High School to look at Meadowbrook. And when I went, the color of the uniform, the bright green and blue, and then you will all remember that auditorium is to the immediate
Repeat that,
right as you
Peter.
enter.
Peter, repeat that. You kind
That
of cut away after I said the uniform. Repeat that.
immediate enter. Um, of Meadowbrook, and there was a live band playing in the auditorium. And I was sold on Meadowbrook because it was so small, so quaint, and so rich in terms of the colors. And I said, this is where I wanted to be. So to answer your question, I didn't pass for Meadowbrook, but I chose it because I had a choice between Meadowbrook and Jamaica College. And if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't change a single thing.
So,
So that was my
Excellent.
journey in terms of the start.
but let me ask you a question,
Yeah.
Peter. You
Uh,
sure it's another girl that me say when you go Meadowbrook that me change your mind?
well, to be quite honest with you, that certainly was a big bonus because and it's funny you say that because when I look back at the yearbook, and this is something I think a lot of people don't know, At that time, and perhaps even before, Meadowbrook represented what I would have called a melting pot
Yeah.
of individuals, really true representative of out of many one people. You had Indians there, you had Chinese, you had blacks, you had whites, you had reds, all
Yep.
manner of persons. And it was
Yep.
you had your friend, your Chinese friend, you called Chino. You had
Mm-hmm.
the Indian, and all of those people and so on. So
Hindu.
it was really like a melting
It
pot.
was
And to
it,
be honest
it
with you, at the time, I didn't really see that anywhere else.
no.
That was
And you're
that
not
that that
yeah,
is
go ahead,
true.
Dante. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that is true, Peter. That is true. Especially when we came there,
Yes,
that was what it was at that
yes,
time.
And,
Yeah.
yes,
and you're not the first person to come and say that's not Peter. Meadowbrook
yes.
is. I don't know if it's still like that. And I talked to the
And
principal.
it is not like that anymore, to be honest with you.
No.
It's not like that anymore because I've been there on a number of occasions. But that was a very attractive part to it because you learned, and then as you went along, the thing about it is that even at the sixth form level, the qualifications were 4 CXC subject for you to go to sixth form.
Mm-hmm.
Other schools at the time, the qualifications were much higher. So
Mm-hmm.
what you found happening is that you had a lot of deportees, if I want to use that, I can use that phrase, from Campion, deportees from
Right.
Immaculate High School, and deportees from other schools who qualified for our sixth form. So
Okay.
it
But
all
didn't.
added to that kind of melting pot and so on. And to my
Yep.
mind, Meadowbrook was, I mean, those were the best years of my life in terms of my education. University life did not compare at all to my
To
Meadowbrook
to,
life.
to Meadowbrook years.
And
Yeah.
Not at all.
and
No,
you
no,
know,
by no stretch of the imagination. And even at the Norman Manley Law School, again, um, it didn't compare. I have very few memories of university days in comparison to Meadowbrook,
To Meadowbrook.
where even to this day, once I'm in Havendale and I'm on Redders Road, I deliberately drive past the school to just
Mm-hmm.
look at it, and
to feel a
have fond
vibes,
memories of it.
feel back a vibes,
Reminisce.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, Peter. I mean, to me, Meadowbrook was our university.
yes,
That's
yes, it was.
because I
And you
went.
had some very attractive teachers at the time too. Tegren will tell you.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
teachers who they were all, from different walks of life. And
Very attractive teachers.
yes, so
Yeah,
it
man.
was really a great it served to build my confidence because I entered as being shy, thinking that I was less than the other person. I was not as
Mm-hmm.
great as someone who went to JC or KC or whatever. Um, and I felt as time went by, I was able to get that kind of confidence and build and build and build. And I do believe that my foundation, in terms of even my focus now, is all as a result of Meadowbrook High School being there.
Yep.
I can definitely see why I love Meadowbrook so much, Peter. That's for the year that
Yeah.
beginning there. To that. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what too, Jelly, I hear you spoke about Peter's leadership roles outside of Meadowbrook, JLC and that kind of thing. But as far as I remember, Peter was a leader from first form because you were a form prefect as well, right, Peter?
Yes, I was form
Yes,
prefect.
right through,
I
right
went
through.
through,
So
went through.
until you got to be head boy. So
Yes, and even that
yeah.
was not necessarily a foregone conclusion because I remember
Mhm.
the day when I was called into the office, Miss McLennan and Miss Morris, I think Dr. Morris, she hadn't gotten her doctorate yet,
Yeah.
and they said, "Listen, we are going to be making you head boy, but the 4 subject thing can't work. It look away if we sit
Hold
one
on,
more
Peter. I
subject."
don't want to make that slide now. I want everybody to know, say, when you take
Yes.
CXC the first time, a 4 subject you get. A 2 to get Peter. So I want to see you
Well,
understand. This is the culture of Meadowbrook. Them allow you to
yes,
keep going. So go.
yes,
You follow me? I said to you, just like you saying, you get a
yes.
chance. But go ahead, Peter. Sorry, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I left Meadowbrook High School with 5 CXE subjects,
So it wasn't. He
four
was. Hold
subjects,
on.
and
Let me just go up on that, Peter. He wasn't a bright sparks.
far from. Far
Exactly.
from. I got a 1 in English language, a 2 in literature, a 2 in geography, and a 2 in history,
Yeah.
and a 3 in art. And I did art in sixth form because they said from head boy, for you have to have 4 subjects, it look away. And I got into
Mm.
university part time because I
Yeah.
didn't qualify full time.
See, Peter,
So the
and the
point,
same thing
so
with
what I
I. A
want to
part
do,
time, you get to university, same thing.
yes, man.
Yes,
So
honey.
what I want to say, we're dead, not dash it way, right? We're
No,
dead, not dash it way, and not only that,
we're not dead. We're not
the
dead.
race is not for the swift. You know what I mean?
No,
Exactly.
no, Peter. This is,
You
Mm.
trust
see?
me. We could have done the podcast as no Dante. This is an inspirational beginning, Peter.
Yeah.
So even in court, I remember a few years ago there were 3 of us in court, and the first lawyer got up and made some legal arguments to the judge, and they looked impressed with it and so on, and he turned to me and he said, "You see that? That is that is a Kingston College type of talking," and everybody laughed. And then the other one got up and said something, that the second lawyer, and he said, "This is the Calabar style. Learn, look and learn." Well, when I got up and I spoke, the matter ended in my favor. I was successful and they weren't. And then I turned to them and I said, "Learn this. This is how we do it at Meadowbrook here."
Yeah, man.
So,
Dante, but for clip that for
so,
them, you know.
Yeah, man.
this is how we do it,
This is
right?
the Meadowbrook way,
So,
Yeah, man.
Peter. This is the
right. So
Meadowbrook
I
way.
am one of those persons who I proudly declare all the time, I'm from Meadowbrook, you know. I mean,
Yep.
I've had many encounters where somebody will say, "I went to St. George's College," and my response is always, "Well, life can be perfect. You didn't go to Meadowbrook. I won't hold it against you," kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So,
As-
so, it I can't tell you how much, Lance, it means to be participating in this podcast. This is the first of this kind that I'm doing. I've never done it before, and I will continue to share my experience, and hopefully I am able to, in this dialogue, motivate that one individual who may have a child
yeah, man.
who is
Yes.
slow,
Yeah, yeah,
who
yeah,
is
yeah.
not the bright spark, who is not going to the best school. And I'm here to
Mhm.
say, don't watch that. The race is not for the swift, right?
Exactly.
No.
So
Exactly.
so never give up, never give up.
No, Peter.
Hmm.
I mean, when we read the bio now, you say take common entrance. Well, a 4th time you take it. And you
Yes.
Yeah.
never stop. Your parents them never give up on you and call you done spot.
No.
Cause you know, that's the thing we do with some parents, you know. Your parents don't give
Yes.
up on you none at all, Peter, and end up.
Yes.
I end up at choose
Yes.
Meadowbrook. I just say it was a calling you, Peter, because I don't think, and I can't say this because I'm in a feel, me not get how me think about life and if me go any other school but Meadowbrook. That's how I feel about it.
Yes.
And, and you know my story as well, because and Peter would know some of my story too. And truth be told, to the end, if it wasn't for if I didn't go to Meadowbrook and I wouldn't be where I am today. Everything that I came out to be, I owe it
Yes.
to Meadowbrook as well. And particular Spanner, the great.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so so it's a school that doesn't, at least in our time, never gave up on anybody.
No,
No,
no, no,
no.
no. You had the
No.
great
Yeah.
principal, Miss McLennan. You had
Right.
people like Mr. Here, the PE
Mm.
teacher,
The
who was
Yeah,
an
P. Wow.
Englishman,
the
and he
dread.
Yeah,
come
man.
The dread as we
encouraging
appreciate.
us,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes.
You had the dean of discipline, the gentleman, um, who
Gooden.
Mr.
Gooden at the
Gooden,
time.
young man,
Mm.
come here, and it's clapping man, and you have to go.
Yes.
You had the religious education teacher, Mr. Townsend,
Yeah.
Townsend,
who
right.
was,
Mhm.
very focused. You had the
Yep.
likes of a Norma Wigan, who was the English teacher, very
Yep.
genteel and firm.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
had some very firm, strong-willed teachers too, in the form
Yes.
of Mrs. Williams. We used to call her Brutus,
Brutus.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You had
Yes.
those kinds of you had Miss Jones, the guidance counselor, Miss Stewart. You had Miss McCullough, the geography teacher. You had
Yep.
Miss Sittle, the biology teacher. You had Mr. McGregor, the maths teacher.
Math
And
teacher.
all
Yes.
of those persons, gave of their all. And you might not have excelled in some of the subjects and so on, but it's a spirit of Meadowbrook High
Hmm.
School. It's a spirit that develop you into such a great person, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be in law, it doesn't have to be in medicine. It is in it reflects itself in business, in the arts, and generally, and
Technology.
you do what you do and you do it best.
So you,
Yep.
at the culture of the school, Peter, and when I went
Yes.
there last year, I was at the school and I walked around the school and I felt the same culture that I had in terms of in a Meadowbrook campus, you just feel like you're at peace when you end up on the campus. There is,
Yes.
that's how
Yes.
that's how I felt back then, and that's how I felt when I visited the school last year. I mean,
Yes.
I want to maintain that culture there. I want to maintain that
Yeah.
culture. I look like the principal doing a good job with that. I'm going to big him up from now, Mr. Faces, because
Yeah.
it's the same culture. And we talk about him later on. We talk about some of the things that we might try. But let me ask you a
Yeah,
question,
man.
Peter.
Yes.
You know what Meadowbrook was before? You go visit it? Which part you used to live?
I used to live on Redders Road. I used to live right behind the back of Calabar,
Okay.
Parkland Drive.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
So I didn't know of Meadowbrook at all until I went and visited it. And then
Okay.
I realized that one of the founders, Reverend Henry Ward, was based in St. Mary. In fact, he's buried at the church in Salem in Islington. I went there and visited the grave about 3 years ago. And then my grandparents were from St. Mary. So it was almost like a fate, a
Mm-hmm.
destiny almost to be there. And
Mm-hmm.
it was Meadowbrook that gave me the confidence to recognize that you're not better than anybody else, but nobody no better than you either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That is how I view, that is how to this day I view life.
Yeah, man. That's how I
Right?
view it to Peter. That's exactly what I view it to. Me not better than
Right?
nobody, but nobody not
Yeah.
better than me. Exactly right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. You
But
see, so that school, it has so many memories. You have Ted Greg, who used to give trouble and no trouble, right? And then to see him take up the leadership of the Power Student Association and actually did what I even couldn't do in terms of bringing some order to it at one point, right? And to see that he's committed to it. You had people like Wayne Clark, who used to play a lot of
mm-hmm.
music and so on, Sean Hibbert, Beverly Wright,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Carlin Grant, Pilmar Powell, who is now a high-ranking police officer here in
Yep.
Jamaica. Harold Blair, you had Chino, I don't remember his name. You had Luke
Mm-hmm.
Uta, you had a number of persons, Felita Chin,
Mm-hmm.
Nadine Mackenzie, all of these people.
Yep.
Spilmar Powell, I said before, Dean Marie White,
Mm-hmm.
all of these persons I recall vividly and with great affection. You had
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Hugh,
All
Granny as
right.
they would call him,
Granny.
Jeffrey Gordon, who used
Yes.
to live nearby. All of these
Mm-hmm.
things, and to my mind, there is really no other school that compares, not in terms of location, if it's geographical location, let us start there. Not in
Yeah.
terms of the history of the uniform, not in terms of even, the kind of the training, because devotion them days there was like an inspiration, when you'd have devotion with
Yep.
Reverend Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it was something to behold. I pay tribute to it, and I'll always be proud of that school and what I have become as a result of that.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear that. Dante, it sound like you had a question.
No, no, no. You can continue.
Yeah, man.
No, well,
Yeah, go ahead.
let me say, it's almost. I mean, Peter remembers the names. It's like he want to prove so he really love Meadowbrook more than us. 'Cause I really have the teacher that name. All of those were teachers that taught me as well. Because as I
Yes,
told you, me and Peter, we were in. I think we were in the same class from first to fifth
yes,
form.
yes,
And so all of those teachers taught me as well, and I remember them affectionately as well, as
yes.
Peter said. And one of the things I think though is that I don't know if we were just lucky apart from the melting pot situation. I don't think we could have gotten a better set of teachers.
No, no, we
I
couldn't
don't
have.
know. I don't know that we could have gotten that.
No, we couldn't have. We had also Miss Griffiths. Remember the maths teacher? We had Miss
Yes,
Griffiths.
man. I
We
remember
had
Miss
Miss
Griffiths,
Jones.
man.
Miss Jones,
Miss
who was a
Jones.
geography teacher. And
Yes.
the librarian, I can't remember her name. I mean, I think it begins with L or T.
Yes.
Was
Because the
Thomas
library
Phillip.
was a
Yes.
class in those days, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
library
yes.
skills.
Yeah,
Yes,
library
yes.
skills, yes.
And all of those, and Miss Stewart, the teacher,
The
the
Guidance
guidance
counselor.
counselor.
Yeah,
yes, the
yeah, yeah,
guidance
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
counselor.
yeah. Melanie
And you
Stewart.
had Miss
Yes.
King. You remember the good-looking lady there who taught
Yes.
Spanish from
Yes.
first form? Drive a
From
little
first
red
one.
MG.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Uh-huh.
Miss, I know what you talk. I just say Red MD, I know exactly what you talk. She has
Mm-hmm.
been on this program to Peter. Jerry you're talking
Yes,
about. Jerry King.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes. So,
yeah.
so,
Just,
so you have all of those persons, you know.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We
yeah.
had some colorful. We had Saffron Ramsey, who was a get a lot of trouble and then turned out to be head girl and did remarkably
Edgar,
well.
right. Mm-hmm.
Keen,
And
Andrew Keen.
full disclosure, Peter, Saffron was my sister-in-law, and she passed away more than 20 years
I
ago.
know, I
Yeah,
know, I know,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
she was an impact too because she demonstrated that even if you go on rowdy and bad and so on, in it is some in all of us is something good, and
Yeah,
she rose to the
Exactly.
rank of being
head
head
girl.
girl there.
Yeah, yeah,
Edgar.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so those are things that
yeah.
and let us not forget Manios,
Right.
Yes, the
Yes.
man that used to blow them out
Yes.
organ.
right? And Chewy, and Chewy,
And
The
Chewy.
man at the
The
gate.
yes,
sweet man.
yes,
Sweet
the sweetie
man.
man,
And,
right? And
And
Pekka,
Pekka.
and
and
Pekka, yeah,
Yes.
Pekka,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
right? So we had all. I mean, it was so. I can't. I can't. If you ask me to name persons who went to university with me, I can't. I can't remember. Quite a few I
Yes.
can remember from law school because it's nearer in time in
Yeah.
terms of the
Mm-hmm.
chronology of things. But Meadowbrook High School is the greatest.
What our
I
university,
don't
Peter,
know any other way.
I can attest to that too. I have the same experience like you. When I go on, I can't remember who went to university with that time. Very few people I can remember. And
Yes,
I just go part time most of the time. So that make it even worse. I never live on campus. I go on campus and that. So yeah,
yes,
that make it.
yes. And
But
what the funny thing about it, before we conclude, I remember this going back to the days when the common entrance results came out. And I was the only person on my row that failed, and everybody passed for the various Georges, KC, whatever, C or whatever. And yesterday, now, even look at this now. KC have to run, come and attach to my name. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, I was in the library at the University of the West Indies, and I saw one of my friends, so-called friends from the road that I used to live on, and he had passed for Georges. And when he saw me in the library, he looked shocked. He was seeing me there. I was seeing him for perhaps the first time in 20 years almost. And his first question to me was not, "How are you? Long time I don't see you. How is everything?" Those were not any of the questions that he asked. The question that he asked was, "What are you doing in the library?"
wow,
That's what he asked me.
wow.
"What are you doing in the library?" And I said to him, "I am a student here. I'm in the faculty of law." And he was a red guy and he burned redder. He could not believe it. And I said, "Time course."
Hold on,
And you
Peter.
could see that he was so
Peter,
shame and shocked.
Peter. Repeat that. Repeat
Uh,
that. With that you broke away after you said. Repeat what you said.
I asked him what he was doing in there, and him say he was doing a little part-time course. He wasn't even full-time there. And I say, you see, look at that. He went to George's, he had the benefit of everything, but he never had the benefit of a Meadowbrook.
Yeah,
You see?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so
Mhm.
I give credit to it fully. Full
yeah.
marks to Meadowbrook High School.
No man, definitely, definitely.
You
Me-
know?
And I want to ask you a question, Peter. I'm going back to the fact that you had to take the common entrance. I know. I just want to know: is it that you understood from early that you had to work harder in order to achieve the stuff? And the reason why I'm asking, Peter, I
Yes.
can remember we were in class, enough time. Remember us going to when we go on a lunch and we come back, come see us study. You used to
Mm.
take your lunch time to study and all of those stuff. Is
Yes.
it that something that you had because of your slow start? You realized that you had to work harder than normal to
What Meadowbrook brought for me was stability, because
yeah.
I'm not ashamed to talk it. I was from a broken home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was from a home where it was my mother who was my father, my friend. My mother was my everything. And I used to, she suffered some severe physical abuse from my father. And we would have to be moving from home to home, address to addresses. I lived in the space of 1 year, perhaps 10 addresses, until I
Right.
ended up at so there was really no stability. There was
Mm-hmm.
no real stability. So when I got to Meadowbrook now, and I saw these larger than life teachers in terms of personality and the firmness of their foundation and so on, it inspired me. It was
Okay.
like a plant and getting fertilizer for the first time. So we had teachers that invested in us, were concerned about us. And
Right.
as I went on and on and on, I realized that, hey, this is a stable environment. This is an environment that I can actually plant some roots and develop, and the
And the-
devotion would help, all of these
Mm.
teachers. There was a biology teacher, a white lady, I can't remember her name. She used to drive a white 1983 Honda Civic.
Miss Chambers that
Mhm.
Um,
talk. Miss Chambers.
right? Miss Chambers, you're correct,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so when you even look at those teachers and how they spoke to you, and it really inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You had a lot
Yeah.
of persons like that.
Meadowbrook
So, so,
Uh,
sounded like
so,
just a
so
home
Meadowbrook,
away, a home away from home for you,
that's
Peter.
exactly what I
yes,
was going to say. Yeah.
yes,
And,
yes.
and and you did spend a lot of time because you volunteered for a number of clubs and that kind
Yes,
of thing.
man. Yes,
Yes.
man. I did. I did.
Yeah.
And it when Meadowbrook took a chance with me and made me head boy, it meant the world to me. There is
Wow.
Yeah.
hardly any other title that compares to it, because it set the foundation in terms of leadership. I was proud to take over from Andrew Pearman.
Hmm.
And Michelle Meikle was head girl, I think, at the time. And it was me who was head boy, and Andrea Wright. Beverly Wright, I'm sorry,
Definitely
Beverly
right.
Beverly
Wright.
Right.
Wright. Yeah.
Right.
Beverly.
Right.
And we did very well. We wore it very well and proudly, and
Yeah.
people didn't recognize that, even in terms of how I carried myself. It was one, two pants and two shirt for the entire week kind of thing. And you had to go home and wash and iron and them kind of thing, and put clothes behind the fridge with the
Make
grill
it
behind the
dry.
fridge and the shoes
Hmm.
and them kind of something there. But
Yeah.
it really, really inspired me. And taking the 37A bus and the 35 and so on.
Hmm.
That was the
Hmm.
US bus until the bus system changed. But
Mm-hmm.
it is a school that I think we all ought to be proud of. We had some tragic moments with Saffron and with the head boy that died on the
Right.
road on the
Keen.
bike, and we had
Keen.
and Keen as well, and
Yes.
some other persons who passed recently. For
Mhm.
instance, can't remember her name now. Michelle, Michelle, can't remember her name. Short brown girl at the time.
Oh yeah, Simpson. She was
Michelle
Michelle Yap.
Simpson.
She was Yap
Michelle
at the
Simpson.
time.
Yeah, right.
No, she
And
was Simpson at the time.
she
She's
was
Yap.
Simpson at the time.
She was
And then
Simpson at
she,
the
yeah,
time. She
yes,
became
yes.
Yap one. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some other persons who passed, but
Hmm.
we really have done very well, and I think we
Right.
ought to be
Right.
proud
Right.
of everything.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yes.
when you come on the campus now, Peter, what was it like
Um,
in the first couple of months? You picked the campus now because I fell in love with the campus, the
yes,
color of the school. What was it like the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months in the Meadowbrook campus?
it was refreshing. I had the book rental system, how to wrap the
Mhm.
book them. I started out in 7H2, and that was near the home economics section there. That was a new section of
And
the
Mhm.
that
school
means
at
you're
the
upon
time.
second shift, Peter?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah. Go ahead.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went, and there was never a dull moment. It was great. I had an English teacher, a history teacher, Miss Williams, short brown lady. Um,
Mhm.
we had some other teachers there at the time, Miss Atterbury,
Yep.
and others. And it was a it there was never, I look forward. Let me put it this way. I look forward to going to school.
to going to school.
Yes,
That was
yes,
me as well. That was me.
yes,
Ah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
as I
there
said,
we
Peter,
go.
your confirmation, a lot of these conversations, the same thing I get, you know. Man say him
Hmm.
just come to school just because him love come to school, you know. It's not about nothing else
Yes.
at all, you know. Yes.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no.
I had a friend who came on and he actually even say he never even want to go home after school, you know. It's like, you
I
want to
wouldn't have
stay.
gone that far, but you know, it was I met a lot of I have friends now, Tegreg.
Mm-hmm.
What this is 50 odd years, no, 50 years, you
Right.
know.
From
Um
1980 almost
nine
50.
yeah,
46
almost
years.
50.
Well, yeah.
40,
Mm-hmm.
yes. You know, Sean Hibbert, we still communicate. Oswald Barrett, we still communicate. Minot when I see him sometime. Dunstan Wilson.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Wayne Clark in a while. Quite a few persons, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that I still keep in touch. I still keep in touch in touch with Beverly Wright. We communicate. I communicate with Carleen Grant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of those persons still.
You know, Peter Beckford was here
Of course,
recently.
Peter and his brother too. Yes.
Right, right, right,
Uh-huh.
right, right. He
Yeah.
asked me for him was,
Yes.
yeah, we linked up on him in Bartlefield and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And quite a number of persons,
Mm-hmm.
friends and well wishers, you know.
Right, right,
So
right.
I really appreciate the opportunity to reminisce and to speak about
No, man.
Meadowbrook
Yeah, but
because, as I say, you know, I was at a function the other day and a youngster had passed from Meadowbrook and he was depressed about it. And I said, don't worry about that. I went there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so you don't worry about it because the truth of the matter is, you know, when I entered and I said, okay, at sixth form, I want to do law. When I say, but me not know a lawyer who graduate from Meadowbrook. Me not know if this is going to be possible, you know. And then you start to look in yourself and say, you know, hey, the motto comes in, you know, you are not better than anybody else, and nobody is better than you, you know. And
Exactly.
you have that purpose and fixity of purpose. You're able to you know, move with a purpose, you know, a fixity of purpose. I say.
so, but you said
Yep.
something that I have, Peter. I have to ask you. While you were
Mhm.
at Meadowbrook, you weren't aware that Bert Samuels went to Meadowbrook.
No, I wasn't actually. The only person that I was out is when I was about entering university, I was told. But I remember on one occasion at some prize giving ceremony, Jackie Samuels Brown came to Meadowbrook and gave a speech. And at the time she was a young attorney. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remembered Miss King, Andra King.
Kickberg.
Andrea
Andrew.
King,
Kingberg,
yeah.
right. She was a lawyer too.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. So never thought, you know, that we could, you know, produce persons in those kinds of fields. But, you know, we have done very well, I would want to say, you know.
And this I'm going to challenge you to this, you know, not challenge you personally, but this is motivation for me starting these podcasts, you know. It's
Yes.
like the history of Meadowbrook is almost like, and for me, it was cricket. Dante know that
Yes.
and sport because I'm the captain of the
Yes.
first cricket team I win in 1982, the Sunlight Cup team. And
Yes.
I just feel like saying that we're going to a black hole. I think it was a
Mm.
significant achievement. At the time, and still
Yes.
is. Because that's the
Well,
motivation.
Meadowbrook was known for cricket, you know, the Sunlight Cup team and
Right.
all of that, you
Right.
see.
We never won before that team that win in
Mm.
1982, Peter. And I realized that it was a common school and all the way there. But the point
Yes.
is, I mean, I say after all these years, a lot of children don't know about it at all. Just like how you never know about all of
Mm.
the liars, the illustrious liars that have come at Meadowbrook before. I mean,
Yes.
I ask for think about this, you know. What you think we can do to make sure, say, the history of Meadowbrook not going in a black hole?
I think what you need to do, first of all, to motivate those students there is to have what is called a Hall of Fame.
Mm.
A
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame where you have persons who have achieved, you know, what persons would describe as greatness, either in the field of medicine, law, business, or entertainment, like Red Rat and all of those people.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you have that for motivational purposes and so on. That's one thing. And every so often, I do in fact go there and I give motivational talk to students, and I tell them never give up. You know, because it's important. Because when I was there, I never had that. until late when I realized, hey, these persons all went to Meadowbrook, so I can do it. You have great cricketers, great sportsmen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think you
Football.
really need to come back to that, where Meadowbrook was a force to be reckoned with in terms of cricket. Certainly,
Yep.
I remember Cheddar, Cheddar and Christopher Cheddar.
Christian, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
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 man.
yeah. My good.
all of those persons, you had the Paul and the Peter, the twins who
Peter,
were great runners.
Yeah,
Paul
yeah,
and
yeah.
Patrick.
Paul and
Yeah,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Paul and Patrick, you're right.
They're
Yeah.
Smith,
great sportsmen. Yeah. All
yeah.
around sportsmen. Yes.
Yeah, the artist there, I don't remember his name, but he did a little mural there in the auditorium.
Delano.
Delano. Delano.
Delano,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you
Mhm.
have those great persons. A lot of people don't forget, tend to forget that even one of our founding members, Reverend Henry Ward, lived to 100 years old.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Also,
Well,
it is.
I'm working on that with the principal now, Peter, because last year we
Yes.
honored the Sunlight Cup team. And this year,
Yes.
in September 21, so the last Friday in September, and I will make sure you know about it, we're honoring
Yes.
the Walker Cup team that won in
Yes.
1986. Just,
Yes.
and me I talk about a 4 years old man on the podcast, right? And me I talk about
Yes.
a wall of fame for the longest while. Dante can attest to
Yes.
that. So just
Yes.
like you
In
said.
sports, in sports, athletics, in terms of academia and all of those
Yeah,
things,
man,
Mm-hmm.
everything, man. And
So you
that's why
get
I'm,
motivation.
yeah,
They
no,
see
no.
your picture up there and they say, this is the man that led the first win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you know that it is possible.
It's possible.
that's exactly the idea I have in my mind, Peter. And it don't come to fruition yet. But in my mind, it's like me I say, in a digital age, it's like me don't want a digital wall of fame.
Yes.
Right.
If all of me I say to you,
Yes.
it constantly rotate, but the kids them see it. Somewhere at
Yes.
the school, them
Yes.
can't miss it at all. It's
Yes.
like would be part of a tour as the
Yes.
orientation and them come at school for the first week. If
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
all I'm saying to you.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
Yes.
we work on that. We're working on that.
Yes.
Because that is something where the principal, well
Right.
known, and we go at Dante, sorry.
We have the Rhodes Scholars as well, that almost back to back Rhodes Scholars.
Mm-hmm.
That's Andrea Wright
Cavell, great.
well, great
Mm-hmm.
And,
guy.
and see them never know about that either, Peter. It
No,
was
they
just for
didn't.
sports alone, It was
Mm-hmm.
for sports, it was the passion for me because I did play sports, right? But I
Yes.
realized, but I included in my introduction about this Rhodes Scholar them because in 4
Yes.
years, we won 7
Mm-hmm.
trophy and produced 2 Rhodes Scholars. So it's a
Yes.
small
And
and young school. You see what I'm saying to
Yes.
you? And the student them
Yes.
who go to the school after me leave and who go in there now, don't really know about
mm-hmm.
them history at all. Just like you say,
No.
you never even know about the illustrious law professors, law people them who go to Meadowbrook before
Yes.
you came there.
I mean, what and speak right now, we have two of the most prominent criminal attorneys. Well, probably three. Two of the most prominent in Peter and
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's something that is to be spoken about probably even now.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
So,
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely,
Yes. Yes.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely,
We
definitely.
we we have made our mark, and I think we
Mhm.
continue to do so. And as I said, I would not have it any other way at all.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
as you talk about reviving, Peter, I must tell you this, because this week I put out a podcast, which is what I sent you Sunday, where the
Mm-hmm.
principal, in collaboration with a parent, is starting a scholarship program for revive the under 14 and under 16 football team, where
Yes.
we're going to get the student them who come class and keep up them grade, who want to play the football, and girls and boys at Meadowbrook, and give them a half scholarship. And
Yes.
it's just at the beginning, we want it to be an ongoing thing where we can expand. Because just like you say, we want to revise back the program for Meadowbrook.
Yes.
Because when I think to me, why sports is such a powerful thing, most of the students, most of the school them here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
they make
Mhm.
most of the money off of the sports program in that. I don't know if you're aware of
Right.
it.
Yes. Yes.
And then them spread out the money to the rest of the college and institution. But
Mhm.
sports is a big motivator for everything, man. That's why I start this.
Yes.
It's set up now is like a collaboration. It's like a gelling between sports and academic. It's not about us. But
Um,
like you say, it couldn't go no other way at Meadowbrook anyway. I would encourage it no other way at all. Because the Meadowbrook,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead,
I
Dante.
would like to say, Jelly, if we can, instead of just say sports, just say extracurricular activities. Because I think there are a lot of clubs during my time as a president. What we tried to do was to, I mean, you know that me at sports, mostly sports oriented, but maybe because I never wanted to appear biased towards sports, we tried to include the other clubs, the key club. We tried to do stuff for those people as well. But
Yes.
um, what I think is that extra persons who do extracurricular activities tend to be more rounded.
Definitely, Dante.
Yeah, yeah.
True. True.
Definitely.
I mean, we see that with Andrew Pierman that Peter mentioned, who ran the Key Club for a number of years. Peter himself was a leader in a number of clubs. At one point you took over the leadership of the Key Club, Peter.
No, Students' Council President.
Student Council, yes,
Yes, I
yes.
took that over.
Student Council.
I did that. And and I was able to sit on the school board with it and interface with the chairman and so on.
Right,
Um,
right.
you know, so you're right. It's a good rounded approach is best.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Miss McLennan always encouraged that, When I was
They
there.
encourage that.
absolutely.
Mrs.
My
McLennan
sister usually
encouraged.
joke and tell me, so Miss McLennan look at a girl one day and just said to her, say, what you doing here? You just there when you come on Meadowbrook, you have to contribute. You can't just sit
Mhm,
there and not doing nothing at
mhm,
all. It's something you have to
mhm,
be part of something, Dante, some extracurricular activity as you said. So
Yes,
mhm,
but so you're right.
mhm.
yes.
You want to
That was
rebrand.
encouraged.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to rebrand it a certain way. But
Mm.
may I ask you a question, Peter? You there
Yes.
Meadowbrook now for you stay in Meadowbrook for how much years you stay there?
7 years because I went to sixth form.
Okay.
I went in 1980 and left in 1987.
Okay.
That's when I went. I went there in 1980.
How
My certificate says 1980 to 85.
yeah, the graduation
That
year,
was
yeah.
from to the graduation. And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, September 1980 to July 1987, up to
Okay.
sixth
Mm-hmm.
form. And I'm
Okay.
looking at my certificate as I'm speaking to you here
Yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh,
So the 7 years
and
that
that
are there,
was signed by Miss McLennan and Miss Kensington, who was the chairman of the
chairman
board
of the
at the
board at the
time.
time. Okay,
Yes,
okay, okay, okay.
yes.
And the
Uh,
7 years you were there, Peter, what stand out to you the most? If you have to say something, a couple of things that really what memory stand out to you the most the 7 years you were there?
the love of everyone, the love of everyone. I didn't have an enemy there. I didn't have somebody there that I didn't speak to. I didn't have somebody there that didn't speak to me. Um, Everybody spoke to everybody, right? It wasn't about where you live, your color of your skin. It wasn't about anything like that. The love, just the genuine love of everyone.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't have any. I didn't have, and I can't say the same for the University of the West Indies when I went there, because you had a kind of stratification where you had the uptowners who drive, those who take
Mm-hmm.
bus, those who are highbrow and you don't talk to them and them don't talk to you, and then even at the law school now when I was there, you had people who are tie up them neck already with tie and briefcase and car and who had daddy and mommy who were lawyers already and all kind of thing and you just didn't feel like you were part of it. But at Meadowbrook High School, it was, it was great. The only
Yeah.
time you felt a little division, which was good and healthy, was when you had sports day and you had Ward versus Saunders, Gardshaw versus Rodney, that kind of thing. That's when
Yeah.
lines were
Yeah.
drawn. But outside
Mm-hmm.
of that, no man,
Mm-hmm.
everything was great. The
Mm-hmm.
love,
Yeah.
the natural love.
And you know what Peter is saying, I'm
Mm.
not saying there was no class structure.
No, none.
in the school. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could find a little crew, 'cause there were,
Yeah, you could
little
one or two
crew.
crew them.
But
Yeah, man, but
in any crew that you found, you had people from all the different
mm-hmm.
class structures in the crew.
Mm-hmm.
So none of the crews were based on class or
No,
right,
no.
right, right.
Felita
So,
Chin the Chinese was a part of a little crew with Dean Marie White, some little warriors, and
exactly.
Pilmar
Yeah,
Cowell.
yeah.
Yeah, you had the
Film,
disco
everybody.
crew. You had
Yeah,
Louis Watt. Louis Watt, who
Louis
was
Watt.
there. The disco
Mm-hmm.
crew, right? And some other persons, breakdancing crew. You
Yes.
know, you had the music crew with Wayne Clark and him set and them
Wayne
kind of
and
thing.
Rochester, Ray
Yeah,
Rochester. Mm-hmm.
yes, uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was at the end of the day, you know, we were
It
all
was just one
together
broke,
and
man.
united. Yes, one group.
One broke. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
One
yes.
group, one aim, one destiny.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One love out of many, one
Yeah,
people.
Meadowbrook was special that way, man. I just said I
Yeah.
can't think of another school. We have the luck.
No.
We had the luck where we had in terms of the environment, and I think the location of the school help a whole heap, Peter.
Yes.
You never feel like say, no man. I don't even remember a fight at Meadowbrook, Dante.
Well, that is what I was going to say.
Yeah, yeah. There were a few, but guess what? It as I tell you, me and my best friend fight, and we get locked up, and then the two of we go home together. We actually plan the fight, and then when we leaving, we were going home together. Yeah, me and Shane. There was nothing. You never have any. There was nothing that there was no malice, that kind of thing where people this man and I deal with that man. There were no enemies in the school. Yeah.
I put that way at Dante. Something really want to say. Despite as close as a Reddit road, I don't know volatile Reddit road is politically. There was no disagreement on the campus. A man from all political stripe come to Meadowbrook. Where you know
Absolutely.
where you know say have a disagreement, Dante, I know say the following morning a gang of man come look for a man at Meadowbrook. That never.
No.
And that a testament to the school. No matter where a man come from Reddit Road, it could have matter 100 Lane or Park Avenue.
Or Common or Park Lane.
Right.
None of that.
No man not carry the warrior thing upon the campus and at all.
No. Not like that.
As a matter of fact, when them there Meadowbrook, it's like you would know which part him come from or to that. It never matter. It didn't matter at all. It's a big thing, man. It's a big I don't think no other school. I know about other school where you know say you fight a man or in an argument with man, you have to hide and go home.
Yes.
You have to hide and go home.
At no point in time we had that kind of problem at all. That I remember.
No, you might have had one or little two skirmishes with a teacher and a parent complaining, like Miss Liebert, you remember the Spanish teacher?
Yes.
Or Mr. Osang, the art teacher.
Yes.
But outside of that, he's a good man.
He have some famous disagreement with him, but you not forgetting him, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
the first one to come and talk about it.
But I mean, I'm just talking is that it is, and the end result is that it was more love than anything else. Broadly speaking.
Yeah, man, definitely.
We had a lot of regard for Pekka. We had a lot of regard for Manius. We had a lot of regard for Miss McLennan's driver, that thick guy there, that big man.
Mr. Lewis,
who used to drive the bone white Ford Escort 2-door, Miss McLennan's car, right? And Miss Morris, Avenger. The Avenger there.
Well, they have a fantastic memory, Peter.
Right?
I didn't remember.
And then Mr. Here and the blue VW bug. Pack up the thing every night and drive.
I never remember the Escort. Spanner used to drive,
Yes. A bone white Ford Escort, 1974, I think, the model is.
Wow.
We can't be surprised that you do so well as scouts, Peter. You memory. It can't to none, I tell you.
Man have a rotted memory of Dante.
I remember.
But let me ask you another question, Peter, about Meadowbrook,
Yes.
What the most embarrassing moment you can remember? I look back on Meadowbrook with a smile.
The most embarrassing moment looking back with a smile. Ah, boy.
Not too much?
I know. I try to look. The embarrassing moment with a smile. I do, I do. I probably one or two times the shoe bottom come off and me I feel kind of walk a particular way until I
You
reach the
put
bus stop.
you put on Patex
Mm.
on it.
Yes, yes. How you know so? Yes, man. Right? And then back in the day, you used to wear some ballet shoes I buy downtown, some where you
Mm-hmm.
clean the
Yeah, yeah,
toothbrush
yeah,
and them
yeah,
thing and
yeah,
brush
yeah,
them up, some little black
Mm-hmm.
kung fu looking shoes, and you wear that with the white bobby socks.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but those were the days.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
you had any idea, Peter, that when you started Meadowbrook, or were you even in a sixth one, that you'd end up a law school and be such a successful attorney? And may I ask you this as I talk about it, because
Yeah.
when I read your bio, you said you were more skilled at commercial law more than criminal law. Oh, you end up
Yes.
at the why you never choose commercial law, and do you miss it that you never do that one day at all?
No, I don't miss it. Let me tell you something. When you're at law school, you learn a lot in terms of the academics of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the law itself. And it is easy with the commercial thing because it's just, you copy and paste and it's a precedent and it's a form that you follow. And criminal law is a bit more complicated, but both of
Mm-hmm.
them have the same academic thing in it. But with the thing with criminal law is that in order for you to be successful, knowing the law is one thing, but being able to read a room, being able to have common sense, emotional intelligence, and to know, just to know how to hold a reason, to go on an ends and you get information and you kind of just relate to everything. That is what I think put me ahead of the game because you have that kind of emotional intelligence. And you learn that because Meadowbrook, you interact with everybody from all walks of life. You walk in Red Hills Road. Sometimes I would walk from Red Hills Road to Parkland. So you walk in
Mm-hmm.
Red Hills Road, you're walking past Sugar and Spice, you're walking past the supermarket across there, you're walking past Turntable upstairs to the left, right? And you're going down Morningside Drive or no Morningside Drive, the other side of the area. But you learn to interact. You're passing the various lanes. You're passing Whitehall
Mm-hmm.
Avenue. So
Mm-hmm.
you're able to you understand people and how they think.
Yeah.
What made people do certain things and what made them not do certain things. So that is how it was a natural fit. And then my mother, by then, was a farmer. She used to
Mm-hmm.
supply Family Pride with
Mm-hmm.
with, with fruits and vegetables and so on. And you learn to interact. Even the Chinese,
Yeah.
their Yan Yan not Yan Yan, is Yan Yan restaurant above the supermarket, there, Riddles Road. Could have been Yan
Yeah.
Yan, I'm not sure.
I think it was
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man. So
Yeah.
that is really what propelled me and caused me to. But to answer the question in a very short way, never in a million years did I think that I would have achieved what it is that I have achieved now.
Okay. But
Yeah, go ahead, Dante. I have a question.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
you know where the man them would have said no Peter, you're up on the ground.
The ground?
No, them say you're up on the ground, so you know the grounds,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know where I go on.
Yeah, man. I know you go. You have your pulse. You have your hand on the pulse of the people. You understand.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know what is what. A lady coming to see me as a client and she sit down and she looking left and she licking her lips. You say you want a cup of tea or something like that. You say yes, thank you, and then it means the world to that person. So you're able
Mhm.
to discern and see what is what. So that is what Meadowbrook taught me. Yeah, and the teachers too, because you had all different types of teachers. You had to interact with Brutus, Miss Williams,
Yep.
Miss Wigan, Miss Jones, Miss McCullough, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Green, the disciplinarian, some with them English, thought in terms of their approach and all kinds. Because you had exchange teachers at that time, you see. Miss
Yeah.
Gaskin from Guyana,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
there it is.
So,
It,
but
well, it was
Brutal.
it, it was great speaking.
Mhm.
Um, I know the hour. I don't know Lance. I don't know if I can. Um, I hope that I was able to make some meaningful contribution to the podcast.
No, man, no, you have done more than enough, Peter. Just one last question I
Correct.
ask you. One last,
Yes,
I have a first question and a last question. Can you give me 1
yes,
hour? And that's more than enough, Peter. In
yes.
your mind, and let me ask you and Dante for some closing remarks. What made Meadowbrook magical?
The blend and the environment
Mm-hmm.
where the school was situated to begin with. It's not in a concrete jungle. It's not off Hope Road. It's not off North Street. It's situated in a lovely community still. And then the persons, the students that went there, the blend and the location.
Yeah.
And to complement that all were some fantastic teachers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
For,
Yeah.
for me, it was the people. And
Mm.
uh, generally, all the people,
Mhm.
teachers, auxiliary staff,
Mhm.
students, everybody.
Mhm.
That's me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has been an inspirational 1 hour, Peter. I must say that. This is
And thank you for having me.
no man, definitely. And is there any closing remark you want to send to the student them who are listening to
Never
this?
give up. Never give up. You are not better than anybody else, but nobody is better than you, no matter how high they are and what where they are and what position they hold. At the end of the day, we all going to the same destination. Nobody
Yep.
better than you. You not better than anybody else, and hold your head up high.
Yeah,
That
man.
is my parting comments.
Yeah, man. And
Comment.
Dante, any closing remark before I just close this out officially?
I don't want to say nothing after what Peter said. Bitter that. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. It was good. Yeah, man.
Good.
Yeah,
And
man.
thank you, and God bless you
Yeah,
both.
let me close this out, Peter. I want to thank
Yes.
you personally for coming, and I thank Herbie for make sure this happened. And thanks,
Yes.
Dante. And I want to thank that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue. And God bless that great school where we can have them conversation, yeah. After 40 odd years, almost 50 years, Peter. Like with their
Yes.
pick up it. So thank you. And God bless you know, and God bless that great school at Meadowbrook. And have a good night. And Peter, send me some
Yes.
pictures, some school pictures if you have them, and some current pictures that we're not posting this. I can post the
Okay.
pictures of them and all. But I will text you and
I
remind you.
will.
Yeah, man.
I will.
And I
It a
appreciate
splendor looks Vestra
yeah,
All the time. Let's
all the
go.
time.
every
Yes.
All
time,
right.
Peter. All right,
Cool.
thanks. Cool,
All
yeah,
right.
man. Thank you. All right, Dante, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Meadowbrook, a small school, surrounded by willow trees. Whistled comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. A story of an hidden gem was about to shine.
Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories. And remember to give us all the encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Cameron Wright, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook memories. And he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Cameron Wright.
Meadowbrook's accomplishments we will surely not forget. Meadowbrook, a small school surrounded by willow trees. Whistled comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. A story of an hidden gem was about to shine.
So reach out and join in one of the 4 chapters of our beloved Meadowbrook High School. The contact information will be in the description page. Plus, you can just go back into this video you are watching and you will see all those contact information. So you don't have no excuse. You have the contact info, make the connection, and find out how you can give back to our beloved Meadowbrook High School. Thank you.
Meadowbrook's accomplishments we will surely not forget. Meadowbrook, a small school surrounded by willow trees. We still comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. A story of an hidden gem was about to shine. A triumph to unfold into a legacy so divine.
You may support the show by purchasing a copy of my book, The Starling Surprise, how Meadowbrook won 7 trophies in 4 years, in the link for a friend, a family member, a student at Meadowbrook, or for yourself. Thank you.
Meadowbrook's accomplishments, we will surely not forget.
So, remember as we listen to this conversation, and I must thank Nadine Moulton for this, stories are made to be told, not buried. Thank you.
Meadowbrook, a small school surrounded by willow trees. Whistle comfort and swayed in the warm breeze. A story of an hidden gem was about to shine. A triumph to unfold into a legacy so divine.
All you females that goes to Meadowbrook, this podcast is for you too. Okay, so don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on. You just want to go down memory lane and talk about the goodness of Meadowbrook and hear your adventure, hear your story. Because everybody have a story now. We can't talk your story. Only you can say your story. So
Meadowbrook's accomplishments we will surely not forget.
The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own, and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add to statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory. Thank you.